now we'll be again studying the Upanishad. As because there are many other programs were there, we couldn't continue the study of the Upanishad. Those who are regularly attending the class, you know, we are studying the Chandogya Upanishad. It's a beautiful, the way they are describing. All Upanishads are giving the idea of the Brahman, which is all-pervading consciousness, which is within us, outside us, and that is exactly what is Hinduism. So we are studying a very special Upanishad, Chandogya. We will start as usual with the Shanti mantra. You need not to do, I will do it myself. Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshu sotramatho balam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakarod Anirakaranamastu anirakaranam mestu tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaste mai santu te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's a long prayer, but very unique. Usually people, they hesitate to pray to God about their own well-being. But here very clearly is mentioned that may my limbs, speech, vital force, eyes, ears, strengthen all the organs. So that is a prayer to the Supreme Being. So may I be strong physically and mentally. Why? Everything is Brahman. At the same time, I am developing this, retaining the power, so that I can realize Brahman in this life. So may I not deny Brahman. That means this knowledge, which is so subtle, is very difficult to even to intellectually understand, that everything is consciousness, and there is no difference between the tree and me, and that ant and me, and the stable and me. This is very, very difficult to understand. So may I not deny the Brahman. The doubts may come. People, they always think, whatever we are not able to understand through our five sense organs, like the eye, the taste, the touch, the smell, and the words, the hearing, so that is not there. So this is wrong. So there are subtle things are there. Obviously, that is the prayer, may I not deny Brahman. The Brahman is consciousness, Brahman is all-pervading, Brahman is everything, but this moment I cannot understand that. I am not able to understand that. But doesn't mean that I should deny it. So that is the prayer. Ma aham brahma nirakuryam, ma brahma nirakarod. May not Brahman deny me. Because that consciousness, if it is not giving me that blessings to, or the subtlety to understand, I won't be able to understand. So that is also the prayer. And may neither Brahman nor me deny each other. In three different sentences, I should not deny the Brahman, Brahman should not deny me, and both of us, the Brahman and me, should not deny each other. Is it different, Brahman and me? No. But at this moment, because I consciousness is there, because I am telling me, my, so obviously duality is there. I cannot deny that. So it says like that. And then say, may all the virtues mentioned in the Upanishad manifest in me. In the Upanishad, what is that virtue? truthfulness. What is the truthfulness? That I am Brahman. That is the virtue. So obviously, when I am having that virtue, having that confidence, so I am not associated with others. I am not attracted to any other things of the world. So that is why it says, me, all the virtues mentioned in the Upanishad, manifest in me. And who am that I? Who trying sincerely to realize Brahman. So, te mai shantu, let that come to me. So that is the prayer. Now, we studied the Chandogya Upanishad up to the chapter 6. We are just entering into the chapter 6. And there it mentioned, and you know that story, that the student and the son, Shvetaketu, up to 8 years old, he was not going to school and not studying. His father himself, he was also a great teacher, Aruni. But the boy was not interested to study under his father. So he was not attending that school. As usual, he was playing here and there, spending his time. Then ultimately his father told, see, in our family, there is no one who is ignorant. In our family, all are educated. I don't know how I will introduce you as my son if you are not getting education. So he was not scolding him. He was analyzing and telling him and awakening his own willpower. Then Shvetaketu, he didn't study under his father. He went to another teacher. His father patiently waited. Okay, if he wants to learn from them. He went to the other teacher and learned from them, and he completed, and within 12 years. Though he started studying at 8 years, usually it is 6 years you are supposed to, 2 years was late, but after finishing quickly, he came back. So that is the picture we find. And almost like our family, sometimes the students and our sons, they're going out and after coming back, and as they call in the modern time, they're showing attitudes. So they are not listening to the father, I know everything, I know everything. So that is the way they were behaving. Father observed that. Then one day he asked some questions. Do you know how this creation, who is the creator? He said, no, I don't know. So his father said, that means you have not learned it properly. Because his father observed, he is not humble. The moment we know the truth that everything that I see is nothing but myself, from the point of view of the Advaita Vedanta, it is not God, it is me, the consciousness. I am conscious, and all those, they are also. So that way he was not behaving. He was obviously separating others and behaving roughly with them. So obviously his father understood he has not learned about the knowledge. Vidya dadati binayam. Here the vidya doesn't mean the informative knowledge. It is vidya means a true knowledge, to know about the creator. That is vidya. To know the one from which everything has come. So when he noticed that he's arrogant type, egoistic, so he asked this question that humbled him. Then he agreed to study under his father, and he told, can you please tell me? So this father and the son conversation is going on. And he said, what is this? All these are Brahman, from which everything that exists, everything is born, exists, and dissolve. This is very interesting. It is born, exist, and dissolve in the same thing. From where? That consciousness. Now, friends, this is very, very important. On the basis of this knowledge, whole religion, that is standing. If we don't understand who is the creator and what is this creation, we won't be able to make any progress in spiritual life. Everything will be like a repetition. We go to the temple, we offer food, we fasting, and everything, all the ritualistic things will be there, but the real growth in spiritual life won't be there. So this understanding is very, very essential. That is the reason the Upanishad, every Upanishad, they, in different way, they're trying to teach us this. There are so many Upanishads because so many teachers were there. Their realizations and their experiences were recorded. These are the Upanishads. Shankaracharya, he discovered 111 and then he commented on only 11. The 11, that is a very important, and one of these, Chandogya. And why commentary? Because to explain, there are so many things that they are very difficult to understand. So this is also necessary. So they were discussing about the creation. Kutastu khalu shaumya evam saditi. How could it be that be so? This creation, where from it came? Kutastu khalu shaumya. Shaumya, he is addressing his son as a dear one. Oh dear one, kutastha khalu, where from all this came? How could it be? Katham asat sadjayate, how being arise from the non-being? Now there are opinions were there. And then Indian psychology, the freedom is there about the philosophy. You have every right to explain in your own way. No one will force you. That is a wonderful thing. Till now it is there. In the social, political, economical, no. It is not. People are there to, hey, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But about this philosophy, you have every right to think in your own way. So obviously different opinions grew up. People tried to understand this truth and they thought this is the way we'll understand. A group of people, they said, there was in the beginning nothing was there. Out of the nothingness, all this came. That cannot be. Something must be there. Out of nothing, something cannot be produced. Something must be there. We may not explain it. What is that something? But otherwise, how you will explain this consciousness, how you will explain this inertness, how you will explain the mixture of inert and the conscious? The mixture of inert and the conscious. This is very interesting. Our body is inert. When the prana is not there, life is not there, it is just like wood, just like any other things. When the people are burning our body, we do not say, what is this? Why you are burning? If they say, that means he is alive. And when he is not saying, that means he is dead. A dead body has no consciousness. Then what is this consciousness? And that is important. As long as consciousness is there within this inert body made of bones, marrows, blood, skin, and so many things. But one thing is very, very important. Without that, this body has nothing. That consciousness, it came from nothing. How that can be? There must be something. So two debates were there. His father, he was making his son convinced, no, it cannot be. So he said, Katham, how, asat syat. Asat means that which is not existing. Sat, asat. Now, usually in Indian language, sat means which is the good. As a sat bhakti, that means a good person. He doesn't tell lies. He's not hurting others. This is a different meaning. Here the Sanskrit word sat means existence. It is existence eternally existing. Not that now it is existing and afterwards it won't be, and previously it was not there. No. Existence means sat, S-A-T, means existence, eternally existence. It was before, it is now, it will be in the future. So that katham asat sat jayat. How from that which is not there can born? No, it is not. How being arise from non-being? It is not possible. Then he gave that wonderful statement, which is the famous statement of the Chandogya Upanishad. Sat eka samya idam agra asit ekam eva advitiyam. Sat eva, only that truth was there. Eva means only. Eva, only. Sat, existence. Samya, O dear one. Idam, this that you see. Agra, before this. Asit, was there. Before this creation, there was, and which is known as eternal existence. And how that is? Ekam. And he did never stop in that. Ekam, eva, advitiyam. It is only one. It is not two. That means conception of two was not there. This point we should understand. Conception of two was not there. It is only one. The moment there is a conception of two, that means duality. No, there is no conception of two. It is only one. And whatever we see is nothing but that one. And that is the tradition, and all our teachers are teaching the same truth in different way. Many times I quoted the famous the devotee, Goswami Tulsidas Ji. The Goswami Tulsidas Ji is very famous in upper northern India. He composed the Ramayana, Tulsidasi Ramayana. So that is very famous. Almost all people they know. He was the devotee of Sri Ramachandra. And one day, it says the story, he invited all gods and goddesses, and he marked the seats also for this god, this goddess, etc. Only there was no seat allocated for Sri Ramachandra, his own god. Now the Sri Ramachandra came and he found no seat, as if he came to Goswami Tulsidas Ji and asked, hey, how come? I don't find my seat. Then the Goswami Ji is telling, can you tell me where you are not? That place I will show you. पूछो हूँ मैं कि रहो हूँ कहाँ, मैं पूछ तो सकूँ चाओ, जहाँ न हो हूँ तो हूँ दे हूँ कहीं, तुम ही बैठाओ ओई ठाओ. I will place you over there, ओई ठाओ, on that place where you are not. So this dualist worshipping Sri Ramachandra, he is separate God and I am separate devotee. But ultimately, it is the same God which is everywhere. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he worshipped goddess Kali. Then ultimately, the Kali and Sri Ramakrishna became one. And we accept Jesus Christ. We are Hindus, but accept Jesus. But we don't follow church charity. Why we accept Jesus? Because he also realized the same truth. And he also said, I and my Father in heaven are one. It's not two. Oh, there is Father, I am here, so we are related, father-son relation. No, we are one. Who is that Father? Is me, and I am also him. So this oneness is the ultimate goal of religion. So this we have to understand. Oh, God is there. Why God is creating this problem, why God is not solving the problem. No, you cannot complain like that because you are that. You are that. But why the duality? Because at this moment, we cannot have that type of mental strength. Hence, we need someone to whom we can go, we can complain, we can pray, we can cry, we can laugh, we can have some conversation, someone whom we can blame. God. So that is good. And if you blame anyone else, then it will be difficult. So better we go to God and say, hey, the God is this. God will never say anything. So this, always we think there is a duality. As long as duality is existing, I am not complete in my journey. The journey is to become one. And for that, what we should know? The knowledge. But we need, one gentleman came and he was telling, I feel to follow the path of knowledge. I told, but then you have to give up everything. Only a monk who is not doing anything, no responsibility, can become a practitioner of knowledge. Because there is no other work but thinking, I am consciousness. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not anything of this. I am the consciousness. So you cannot go on doing this and that, expecting this and that, and saying I am consciousness. So that cannot be. So like the great Ramana Maharshi, the very recent time in India, you have to practice that. So why this knowledge? Because knowledge is necessary. Otherwise in spiritual life, where we are going, what is our goal, that we don't know. After giving this knowledge, again, they will say, come through this way. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, discriminate. Who are you? This body? This mind? No, you are not. Because these are all temporary, constantly changing. Body is constantly changing. Today I noticed, because when I was in colleges, I had some muscles, and I was proud of those muscles. Today suddenly I noticed there is no muscle at all. Where it has gone? No. So obviously the body is changing. Constantly changing. Every moment it is changing. We are not aware of it. If we were aware, then every time we used to cry, oh, the body is changing. Because constantly it is changing. Mind is also changing. Then who am I? So that is the first thing. Acha, okay, that far we cannot do. Then he said, better you pray to God. Think that I am here, you are there. And you are coming slowly to me. And there will be hurdles. You have to cross those hurdles. Which are those hurdles? Your ego. And ego will always say, why this, why that? Why that person looked at me like that? Why that person is not listening to me? Constantly ego will be there. And every time you are hitting the ego, you are going back to the square one. Start from there again. So that's why so many births we are taking. But if you can jump and over the hurdles, then you will go and merge with that. And that is the eternal bliss, eternal happiness. We are searching for happiness. Achha, you cannot do that. At least help others, pray for others, think good about others. Karma, that will also do, karma yoga. And if it is possible, you think, withdraw all the sense organs from these sense objects and concentrate. So jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga. These four paths, the great way, the Hinduism, they always propagate these four paths. Any one of it, or combine it. As the Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Vivekananda, he made the whole combination of all the four. Jnana, Bhakti, Karma and Dhyana. All the four are there. And then get complete freedom out of this. And that is the way you have to. So he was telling, Sat eva samma idam agra asid. In the beginning of the creation, there was only one existence. And what is that existence? Ekam eva. Only one. And the advitiyam. This is not two. Tat vikshata bahusyam praja ea iti. Now, why that one became many? No one can say. When the first creation came, the Swami Vivekananda said, Hindus are bold enough to say, we do not know. You cannot say the creation started on such and such date. No, it is not possible. Eternal creation going on, happening. When it was created, why it was created. So why it was created? Then they are assuming that one. He felt, hey, I'm one for a long period of time, let me be many. Just thought. It's a tat vaikshata. Then that, tat means that consciousness, all pervading, vaikshata, he thought, as if, we do not know, he thought, bahu shyama, bahu many, shyama, shall, praja ea iti, let me become many. He just thought like that, let me become many. In our life, we first think, and then we start working on that. And then we achieve that. Then we become dissatisfied with that. Then you can dissolve that. Are we not doing the same thing we are doing? Yesterday we found one gentleman left a bag full of pictures, books, and then gift items. He left it at the door of our Home of Harmony. Beautiful, very good books. Now, one time, he went to different places, purchased those photos, purchased those books, and the gift items. He kept those things. Then ultimately, he enjoyed that. First, he thought I should have. He had. Then he enjoyed those. Then afterwards, he thought, enough. Now I have become very old. I don't need all those things. So give it. So where to give the photo of the God and goddesses? So he left to our door. Of course, we have kept all those photos, very good photos. And immediately some people, they also purchased those. The photo of Swami Ishatmananda was there. And I found Vivekananda is still popular. Immediately people purchased those photos. They gave some money and took that. Now, he or she wanted to have, he had. Enjoyed. After that, hey, this for a long time it is here. Now I have become old. Who is going to clean everything? So, give it up. We also do. Similarly, and the same fashion, thinking that the first one, the creator, the consciousness thought, Bahushyam praja ea iti, I shall become many. I am alone, let me be many. Tat teja asrijat. The moment he thought in that way, then the fire it came. That created fire, agni, teja. And from the teja, as the water was created. From the water, from the rain, food was created. So this Upanishad, it gives in this way, this order. First is the Agni, then is the water, then the food or earth. Now immediately someone objected, his son objecting now. In another Upanishad it says, first it was created in a different way, tasmad ba etasmat akasa sambhu bhava. Akasa means this the space, that was fast. Why it is here, the fire? Why it is not the space? Why there are contradiction? Why the two saw the same thing to different way? That both the rishis, they are supposed to see the same truth. You know, the truth is one. Whenever you realize that, you will realize the same thing. Sometimes some people, they say, only this God or the prophet, he only can realize God, none else. And they stop over there. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. Because I am going to realize, I am going to understand. And that, any way I can understand. And it's the philosophy, forget about philosophy, say science. The scientists, they are discovering something and they are then recording that. The record is coming down to the other students, maybe much afterwards. Then they are researching on that and finding the same result. And as because every day they are advancing, they are coming out with some other things, some other truths. Next generation again, developing on that. It should be that. It should be that. In science, it is they are slowly discovering. But in spirituality, they have already discovered the one, which is not two, that is the consciousness. So people afterwards are coming and realizing the same truth. As I quoted the Goswami Tulsidas ji, as I mentioned about Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, they all said God is one. They never said two. But they were worshipping two. They were worshipping Rama. They were worshipping goddess Kali. But afterwards, the result is two. And the result is one. So that is the way if we understand. So it says, you are objecting on that. It says that first was Akasha, Akashat Vayu, Vayu Agni, Agni Apaha, Adva Prithivi. That was in the Taittiriya Upanishad. But here, Chandogya, he started from the third one. Agni, then Apa, Apa means water, then Prithvi means food, all these vegetations. So he mentioned in that way, he is not very much interested to give the way it was done. He is interested to prove, Chandogya Upanishad, interested to prove that from one, many came out. And how it came out, that he is mentioning. So, your objection is not sustaining. There is no contradiction here. In this Chandogya Upanishad, stress is given on product of existence, which is one without a second. From which everything came? One. Chandogya Upanishad is interested to teach us that. So he just casually mentioned that this is this. You should not take that, and the other Upanishad it says like this. It is not like that. Then tesham khalu esham bhutanam trini eva khalu bijani bhavanti. Now there are three different types of seeds. Now slowly it is expanding. First the thought came, I like to be many. And when it became many, then what to do? Now if you notice, usually, almost in every society, in the marriage, a young boy and a girl, they are getting married. All other people bringing different gifts to them. What is the gift? The parents and the others, they will give them many different things which will be useful for them. A freeze, then the carpet, maybe chair, maybe table, maybe the car, maybe this, maybe that. So why they are giving them? It will be necessary for them. When they were unmarried, bachelor, one room, something was there, it's okay. But now they're going to be married, and in the married life, other people will also come, so they will need all these. So slowly, slowly expanding. So one, now children came, for them different rooms, for them different things. The one person, he was having only one motorbike, that was sufficient. Then the family, 2, 3. Of course, in our country still, what to do? On the motorbike itself, they will take 4, 5 people, balancing. But you have to purchase a car, and then slowly, slowly life becomes like that. And ultimately, when you become old, everybody has been settled, then you don't need those. You sell those out because you cannot drive or you cannot go here and there. Okay, everything goes. One, again, you become one. From one, you desired to be many, you became many, and you enjoyed the many. Then afterwards, you say, okay, let me become one. So then one couple is there. They read the scripture, and he said, both of us now are ready with everything. Previously, the wife said, I used to cook and I used to maintain. Now I am teaching my husband also to do that. We do not know who is going fast. I may pass before you, the husband. So obviously, you should know how to maintain all these things. And suppose you die, I know, so I can somehow manage for a few more years. So they are very practical types. So that because there is no one else. By that way, they are ready. So from one we started, became many, we enjoyed, and then closing up. Again go back to one, and they go. So why to cry? Why to wail? Why so much? Because I think this is my only life. And that's why we cry so much. They need not to. Because there is another life. This I enjoyed, and sometimes suffering, sometimes enjoyment, all that's okay. Next life we'll see. Again, the next life, if you want, next life. Some people say enough is enough. A lot of experiences we had now. We don't want. We want mukti. And to want mukti, you have to realize the one. So you go back to the source. That is the ultimate. Hinduism, then the Buddhism, Jainism, they always talk about liberation. They talk about mukti, not swarga. Swarga is in between. If I cannot get that jump to mukti, okay, I will go to sarga, I will go to heaven, and I will be there to enjoy. But that is not the place from where I can go up. I have to come back again. This is the karma bhumi. Swarga and naraka are the bhoga bhumi. Bhoga bhumi means you go and either enjoy or suffer. If you go to heaven for your good work, you will enjoy. If you go for the bad work, you will go to naraka, you will suffer. But both will come back again over here. And you have to get the human birth. Then again you have to have the spiritual thought. You have to have the guidance, your guru, your scripture, your God. And then if you are truly thinking that, no, this is enough, you get the mukti. So this is the circle goes on. This is we think. But what is the reality? That one, it became many, it became good, it became bad, it enjoyed, it suffered. Everything is that. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, these are all leela, the drama. Nobody is suffering. Nobody is enjoying. Who is that body? It's only the consciousness. It's only thinking. So very interestingly, it says that there are 3 seeds. What are the 3 seeds? Jivanam and Andajam Udbijam. What are the bijani? The seed. First is Jivanam, Andajam, Udbijam. The 3 seeds born out of womb. The Jiva, born of egg, Andaja, and also the plant Udbija. There is Sveda also there, sometimes from the other watery things. The life comes, that comes within this. Seyam Devata Oikshata Hanta imati sad devata anena jivena atmana anupravishya nama rupe vyakabani iti. This is the third verse of the 6th chapter, third the stanza and the second verse. What it says, that being about which we are now discussing, that is that consciousness, it says hanta, let it be. Hanta means let it be. What? I will enter into it. These three devata. What are the three devatas? The three, first he created, first is the fire, water and the food. Because devata, why? Because they are manifested, the devata. And I should enter into that and then enjoy. He is entering. Hanta, let it be. Now I shall enter into these three gods and manifest name and form. Name and form is this Jagat. And what is this Jagat? What is this universe? Nothing but two. One is name, another is form. You cannot separate it. It is either name or a form. There will be a form, there will be a name, then only we can recognize. Without name, without form, we cannot recognize. The mind cannot take it. There should have to be a one. That's why the Brahman, which is consciousness, we are confused. And that's why sometimes the religion, some philosophy, they say, God has no form. They're correct. And God is all-pervading. They're correct. But they're wrong when they're trying to practice it. Why? Because the human brain cannot accept it. Suppose there is nothing in this room. You are here and you have been asked to worship. What you will worship? Because, there is nothing. Suppose there is no window, you cannot see anything. You know the terrible punishment that they give in the jail? That's called cell. And there, you have nothing, not even a window. Only the white wall, not colored wall. And you get bored with look. If there is different color, your mind will be, this is red, this is... Your mind is enjoying. When there is nothing, only white color, within 2-3 days you will become mad. Because we can't think without any name and form. This is a great soul, Aurobindo Ghosh. He was arrested and he was put into jail. In this cellular jail, nothing was there. In his biography, he has written, in the beginning, he used to think, what is happening? No sound, nothing, nobody. Then afterwards he noticed that below the door, this little gap is there, and he could see the people moving. Some of their shoes he could see. So a long time he used to lie down on the floor only to observe that. And some people are moving, they're going, they're coming, like that. A different type of shoes, a different type of way of walking. That gave him some time passing. Something is there. Then afterwards, he thought, then he started watching the ants, which used to come, how the ants are coming. That's also time passing. Then he thought, the rishis, they used to go out of themselves inside the caves and used to close them to meditate. Why not try that? He started meditation. And in that he became successful. And he went as a Aurobindo Ghosh, a patriot. But when he came out of the jail, he was Rishi Aurobindo. From there, he realized why. He calmed his mind. So our mind is agitated all the time. We need something, otherwise we cannot function. I saw nowadays the mothers, they're giving some tablets before the children. Only little baby. And they're observing that tablet, something is going on, and the mothers are going on feeding. And without any protest, the baby is going on eating, not understanding that it is eating because it's glued to that and going on some moving there. So this is our brain. Now the brain is becoming all the time external. Something should be there, otherwise we cannot. So practicing meditation is so difficult. So the people are now trying to practice meditation, trying to go back to that oneness. But it's so difficult. Previously nothing was there, no disturbances. And nowadays it is so difficult, so difficult. Only today I got the information, one person sold the only property to purchase one iPhone. Can you imagine? Now, with the iPhone, where he will go? But he is very happy. His parents are confused. He took all those papers and sold it and then purchased the iPhone. And somewhere else he has gone. And what he will do with the iPhone? Some social these that he will see constantly, that much. So this is the terrible mental condition nowadays. This is the modern time. If you don't want even, they will come to your bedside and will provoke you to be disturbed. Your mind will be like that. So this here, when it says, this is the thing that being about which we are discussing, he said, okay, let me enter into this. What is this? Fire, then the water, and there's these three, he entered into, and then different names and form. Objection, immediately that son, he told how the consciousness will enter into this. Correct. They said entered into this. In the other Upanishad also says, tad sistva, tadeva anupravishat. Now as I was telling, this body is inert. But I am talking, I am moving, I am seeing, I am observing, I am analyzing. How this body can do that? Who entered into it? Must be consciousness. So from the consciousness I am doing with this inert body. The Japan has made one type of dolls, puppies. And they will do whatever you ask them to do. The one person, he was walking, the puppy is also walking, following. Then they asked the puppy to move, and that little doll, but that furry dog, it was jumping and moving. It was so funny. And you can enjoy that, but it is a machine only. Looks like a real dog, but it is not. It is a machine. Why we are developing that? A machine acting like a real original dog. That much we can do. But the consciousness entering into it, how it is possible? So he is asking, the son is opposing. You said that which is the Brahman, the pure consciousness, created fire, water, food, then entered into, become different names and forms, but we do not see the sign of consciousness in fire. We do not see the sign of consciousness in water. How that is possible? Then his father is giving the answer. There is no defect in this, since fire, etc., are the modifications of the seer. They are not real, they are the modification. Then he gives how consciousness can enter into unconscious, question he is asking. The father is giving the answer. Well, go and stand before a mirror. What happened? You entered into that mirror. If you go and stand before a mirror, how the consciousness entering into an unconscious thing. It is like the mirror, it is a reflection. If you go and stand before a mirror, then your reflections goes into that. And you are there. So mirror is unconscious. When you stand before it, it became conscious. Now you are waving the hands and your reflection is also doing the same. You are smiling, your reflection is also doing the same. Who is that? One which inside the mirror. But is this really true? Of course it is, because it is smiling, it is waving, it is moving. But at the same time, it is not true. So it is there, but at the same time, it is not there. Shankaracharya used these as a maya, as if you are doing, but you are not doing. As if you are hearing, but you are not hearing. And this is the point, is very difficult to understand. And we get always confused. But this is exactly a reflection. How that consciousness, which is the one, entered into so many different beings, right from an ant to Buddha, same consciousness. Then if, again another question is there, if the consciousness is becoming different parts, then one time it will be exhausted. There's a consciousness and is becoming so many, then it will be exhausted. No, it cannot be like that. And that's why you will find, many of you know, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Avashishyate. If you take out the whole from the whole, it becomes the same. It remains the same, no changes. How it is possible? Reflection. How that consciousness is within us, reflecting on our buddhi. It's like the consciousness reflecting not on our body, not on our mind, not on our ahankara. It is reflecting on our intellect, buddhi. And that is why Ma Kali kept all those heads, human heads, as that beautifully kept and preserved by her. So why? Because this is the buddhi, this is the intellect, where the reflection of the consciousness is there. So this is the buddhi. Buddhi yogam dadamaham. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, I give the right type of understanding to that man. How I bless a person? By giving the right type of understanding. And he understands, oh, this is the thing I should do, these are the things I should not do. And that is called buddhi. Buddhi doesn't mean he takes the computer and completed these, that. That is one type of intellect, that's good. But the real buddhi is understanding the truth. And what is the truth? All these things that is there are very, very temporary. Very, very temporary. Any time I may die. So then from that point of view, what we do, we try to love others, help others, understand others, cooperate with others. And we become God by that. So the Bhagavan, Swami Vivekananda gave a call. Previously you were animals. Now you have become human. Now get ready to become God. What is that God? This much. When the human, I have understanding, and that understanding, when it goes refined into this way, what I am is all others also. Then there will be no hatred, no enmity, no anger. Only love will remain. And that is the ultimate of all religion. Swami Vivekananda wrote a poem. It's a very good poem. In Bengali he wrote. English translation is also there. He said, Shono boli moromer kotha. Well, listen to my heart's words. I like to tell you that. What is that? Jenechi jibone shatya sar. What truth that I have discovered, I have realized. Shono boli moromer kotha, jenechi jibone shatya sar. Torango akul bhavo ghor. This world is so many waves, one after another. Sometimes success, sometimes failure. Sometimes success, sometimes failure. It goes on like that. Tarango akul bhavagor, ek tori kore parapar. Only one boat is there that can take you to the other shore, where there is nothing but happiness. What is that? Prem, prem, ek matradhan. Only that love without any boundary, love that embraces everyone. And that love is the only way you can cross the other side. Otherwise, taranga, these all the waves of suffering and happiness, it will go. So we are studying this Tribrit Prakriya. This Tribrit Prakriya means this three, the one will be there, main, and the other two, the 1/4 will be added, and then it will be given to, one form will be given. I will just read it out. This triplication means like this. This is to be done as follows. Subtle fire. The fire, before that, it is not the original or the fire that we see or touch or can feel. It is only subtle fire. It is there. How it is subtle fire? Suppose we see a matchbox, but we know that this fire is there. But it is not burning this moment. That is called subtle fire. And subtle fire is half plus water, half plus earth, 1/4. So it goes gross fire. Again, subtle earth, half, then again the fire 1/4 and water 1/4, it is gross earth. The same way it goes to water, half, fire 1/4, earth 1/4, gross water. This fivefold differentiation also comes in this way, and that is noted somewhere. This is Akashat, Vayu, etc. So this is the creation it gives in the Hindu way. This is the Hindu way, the creation, how this thing came. Subtle was there, then it became gross. When the subtle is there, that means it is there but not manifested. And when manifested, then we can see, we can touch, we can feel with our 5 organs. So all the grosses that we see, there is a subtle thing is there. And if we can understand that subtle thing, now the science is discovering that. When the science is discovering, they are utilizing that in their own way. And that's why tremendous, the powerful bombs they are creating, the destruction they are doing, how they could do that? Because they are just utilizing this particular knowledge and mixing something for destruction that is wrong, but they understood it. But for betterment, if they do, that will be good. Now, those who become in the power, they come to power, they did good things in their past. They wanted to become ruler. They have become ruler, but now they have forgotten. They are under their own ego. I am doing. So whatever I say, that should be done. I don't care for anything else. And what will happen? Again, they will lose all their good karma. Before that, of course, some suffering we have to have. Now, afterwards, what will happen to them? The souls. They will go back to the same square one, again starting from there. Again, they have to take some human birth. Again, they have to do some good work. Again, they will get this opportunity. So, moment you get an opportunity, you are a successful singer, dancer, administrator, doctor, engineer, professor. Don't become egoistic. Become very humble. Why? The God has given you this opportunity. Anyone could become like that. You got that opportunity. So utilize that opportunity and use that knowledge, your power, your energy, for the betterment of others who are nothing but the same God. Thank you, friends. Thank you for this. Any question is there?
KAI is asking three-part question. Can our belief in karma philosophy make us insensitive towards others' suffering? Part two, when we allow ourselves to think that people are suffering due to their own past karma, what is the remedy?
See, just lastly, before conclusion, as I was telling, of course it is karma phala for them, but we should not think in that way, oh, let him suffer because he must have done something wrong. Not like that way. We should, for our own sake, try to help them, those who are trying to be good, and we should pray for them, and we should, in good way, we should be friendly with them. Our karma, you cannot solve the problem of the world. That is the one thing. You can never. Lord Buddha tried, Sri Ramchandra tried, Sri Krishna tried, Jesus tried. And do you think you and me can do that? We cannot. But why we should do the good work? That will help us. Don't think about their past karma. Their suffering, of course, there may be. But that doesn't mean we should leave them in that condition. We have to go forward and help them so that we can help ourselves. The Swami Vivekananda said, it's like this gymnastics. Here, you have to improve yourselves. Whether the other people will do or not, it doesn't matter. You have to improve. So why should we do good to others? So that I can help myself. And how I will help others? Oh, that man, poor man, suffering, let me go and help. No. The God is coming in that form to take help from me. So I am helping the poor God, God in the form of poor, for God in the form of suffering. And that God I am helping. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, Jibe prem kare jai jon, who is loving the beings, shei jon, that person, shebiche ishar, he is serving gods. It's not the poor man, poor person, but the living God in that form. He has come before me so that I get the opportunity to serve God. If you do it that way, you are developing in spiritual life. Thank you. Okay then, any other question from here? Yeah.
You said meditation is very...
Can you come to this?
You said meditation is very hard because mind always anxious. The minute you sit for meditation, you think about job, or the household, whatever. But we heard that Swami Vivekananda was perfect in the meditation. Did he use some technique? Or it just out of love it happened?
Achha, that is, if you have read the biography of Swami Vivekananda, this is a very good question. How Vivekananda could become that contemplative. So if you read the biography of Swami Vivekananda, right from his birth, he was not having any desire in his mind. So obviously, that was the main thing. The moment we are having the desire, the only desire that the young Naren was having is meditation. His pastime, his main play was to meditate. If you read his biography, you will find when he was a very young boy, hardly 4 years, 5 years. So he used to ask his friends, come, let us meditate. And in that meditation, he used to go into so deep. A snake came. Others, they were closing their eyes, opening one eye, looking to others, they were going on. That's a game. But when they saw the snake entered into the room and coming towards, they all got up, and then as the children they do, they were all shouting and screaming, crying. But look at Naren. He was not aware of anything of that. Even when so many children, they were shouting, but nothing happened to him. He was in deep meditation. So we cannot compare with that. He was as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, one of the rishi, of the Ashtarishis, of the 8 great rishis. He was that. So obviously he came in the human form and to show us, but he was so very, here in Chicago, this Lincoln Park, he used to go for walking, then he used to sit on a bench and used to go into deep samadhi. Sometimes one mother came with a little baby, she wanted to do some jogging, so had to keep that baby. Then he saw Swami Vivekananda, he is meditating, sitting, she left that baby on that lap of Vivekananda and then practiced exercise. Vivekananda never knew, and the baby also, the moment it got the touch of Swamiji, went into deep sleep. And the baby was also happy, peaceful, sleeping, and Swamiji was meditating. These are unexplainable. This is the Shiva, that is why. Anyway, Swami Vivekananda asked the ladies, and they prepare French toast. I like to enjoy the French toast today for my morning breakfast. And they were preparing. He went for a little walk. He saw a tree, sat under that, and then went into the Samadhi. Then Swamiji is not returning back. They saw he's sitting over there. They went to touch, but there is no life in the body. Then they became terrified. Oh my God, he has passed away. One lady, Miss MacLeod, Swamiji told, if you ever see me meditating like this and there is no life in the body, tell the name of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna to my ear. Mind will come down. So she came running. She knew that. So don't touch him. I am coming. She went and she uttered the name of Sri Ramakrishna, and again the mind came to the body. We cannot explain this.
I mean, there is no technique, it's just naturally.
Technique, of course, they say, what is the technique? Only one technique. Don't have any desire. Mind will automatically become calm. The moment we have the desire, then all things will be always. But if you pray to God, time will come. And meditation, the joy of meditation, every one of us should have. The joy of meditation, unexplainable. Those who get that joy never want anything else. They never want anything else. If you do something wrong in the Ramakrishna mission, they will give the punishment. What is the punishment? Now we are monks, so we are supposed to control this, control that. Sometimes, it has become a human being. One Swamiji, he was asking elevator, mechanic, he was doing something, not coming, so he became angry, he couldn't control, he gave a slap on him. And that was naturally a Swami giving the slap. He was punished, he was sent to Himalaya, and one place you have to be there, you have to collect your own food. In the ashrama you always get the food, and then you have to go and collect your own food. That is the punishment. Why? You have to think what mistake I have done, why the anger came, I have to be controlled like that. But when he went over there, he started, in the beginning he was angry. Why they are giving me the punishment? That person was wrong. I had to give him punishment. Like that he was arguing. But after 3 months he was not coming back. Then they said, now 3 months over, come back. He was, no, give me another 3 months. I'm enjoying this meditative life. Like that he continued for 1 year. Then the Belur Math told, hey, what is it? We need workers. You cannot simply sit and meditate. Come down. So like this is happening. Once you get the joy of meditation, you don't want anything. Whether the discomfort or the food or the dress or nothing. This is a wonderful meditation. We should have joy of meditation. That's why you have to pray to God, at least a glimpse one day, so that I'll wait at the fag end, give me the complete. But now at least give once a glance of meditations, joy of meditation. Thank you, friends. Let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om.